there, thanks for joining me today as I make my chicken tamale casserole. Now, tamales is one of my oldest son's favorite things to order when we go to the Northwestern Pacific side of Mexico. Tamales, you can get them as you walk through the market. They're seasoned meat and cheese wrapped in that soft masa cornmeal dough, and then they're steamed inside of a corn husk. Well, they might be great, but they're very time consuming. So this is nothing you can do after a work day, right? On the other hand, cornbread, something we're all familiar with, is fast and easy. So we're going to kind of make a tamale casserole using some cheater convenience items to speed along the dish, okay? Now, don't get me for that, but this is one of those after your work day meals, not a work all day meal, right? So we're going to have a cornbread crust, which is going to mimic the masa flour. We're going to season it up with cheese, corn, cumin, and chilies, and that nice shredded meat on top. And then we're going to add color and texture with black beans and corn. We're going to top it off with melted cheese and chips and avocados and tomatoes and cilantro and lime and sour cream and all these wonderful things that you associate with the great flavors of that Northwestern Mexican meal. So here are our ingredients. You can refer back to this at the end or visit my blog for a recipe that you can print out, take to the market with you. But let's get started. First of all, preheat your oven to 400 degrees, then make your cornbread. Use any kind of cornbread you like. I'm going to make one from a mix because it's fast and it's easy, and this is after work. So I wanted to show you how to do it really fast. On my cornbread mix, we have a box of cornbread mix, a third of a cup of milk, and an egg. And so whatever cornbread you're making, go ahead and make your batter. To your cornbread batter, add about a half of a can of cream-style corn, a cup of shredded Monterey Jack cheese blend, 2 ounces of chopped green chilies. This would be a half of one of those small 4-ounce cans. Now the chilies taste like Mexican food, but they're not spicy, so don't let that worry you. A teaspoon of cumin, which just gives it that nice smoky flavor. Okay, so that's going to be our seasoned cornbread, not just any cornbread. Now, I like to make my cornbread in a black iron skillet. It gives me a really crispy edge on the crust. So I'm going to add a tablespoon of canola oil first, and then I'm going to get my pan really hot with the oil in it, and then I'm going to put the cornbread batter in there, and it's going to kind of seal that cornbread and make that crust really crunchy. Now I'm going to pop it into the 400-degree oven for about 25 minutes. This picture is to show you that you can also make these in individual sized portions, okay? Or muffin tins or individual ramekins. I made it in a tiny little casserole dish. So while your cornbread is cooking, get everything else ready. Now, my favorite after-work convenience food has to be a rotisserie chicken. They're hot, cooked, seasoned, juicy, and frankly, they're less expensive than buying raw chicken. So this is going to save us a lot of time, and it's also saving us money. So shred the chicken. I'm going to use both dark and white meat. I'm using the regular size chicken, which typically gives you between 2 and 3 cups of meat. There are larger family size chickens available as well, but I'm using the regular. To the chicken, I'm going to season it up with some red enchilada sauce, about a cup of red enchilada sauce, and I'm using the mild variety because I have small kids in the house, but feel free to use whichever one you want. I'm also adding a packet of taco seasoning, a whole packet. Now this seems pretty extreme, but we have lots of layers of food here, and we want each one seasoned. So, and also notice we're not adding any additional salt or pepper to this recipe because the taco seasoning has all that in it. So we have meat, the enchilada sauce, and the taco seasoning. Next, prepare your topping. I'm going to start by chopping my tomatoes into bite-sized pieces, chopping up an avocado. I'm going to marinate them both together with a big squeeze of lime juice. The lime is going to add a lot of flavor and also prevent the avocado from oxidizing or browning. Season those with salt and pepper because this is our topping, so this is our only application of salt. I also added a little bit of chopped purple onion, maybe a quarter of a cup. This is a touchy-feely recipe. I didn't measure anything exactly, so just have fun and let your personal taste be your guide. I wanted lots of beautiful color and beautiful texture in here. Now, after all that, our cornbread is done. So take that out and it's golden brown with a crispy, crunchy exterior, but still tender in the middle and not dry. On top of the cornbread, I'm going to add 2/3 to 3/4 of a can of drained, rinsed black bean. If you want to use the whole can, go for it, but I use probably about 3/4 of the cup of the can. On top of the black beans, I'm adding in a can of the sweet whole corn. There is a Mexican style blend available. It has little pieces of red and green peppers in it, but whatever style you prefer. Then I'm going to pile on all that juicy chicken, and it's juicy from all that enchilada sauce. Now, you might have thought that the sauce was going to make it too juicy, but remember, a corn tamale is typically soft as well, kind of a creamy texture. So this extra sauce on the chicken will permeate down in that cornbread to better approximate the texture of the tamales that we're trying to make. So it's going to be fine. So also having the corn and the beans in between keeps it allows the cornbread to get juicier, but not all and out mushy, okay, because we don't want that either. Then on top of the meat, we're going to crumble a bunch of tortilla chips on the top. When these bake down, they're going to turn into the taste and texture of the corn tamales without, without having to cut them or fry them or anything else. So the corn tortilla chips are a really nice shortcut here. Now, on top of the chips, add lots and lots of mozzarella cheese. This is my favorite part. Y'all know me, I really love cheese. Pop it back into the oven for about 400 degrees for another 15 minutes or so, uncovered. And if you've made small ramekins, go ahead and pop those in as well. And then right before you do pop them in, drizzle about another half a cup or so of rich enchilada sauce right over the cheese. And after about 15 minutes, we have a lovely gooey casserole that smells divine. Top your cooked casserole with the chopped avocados, the tomatoes, lime, and onion salad that you made. Garnish with fresh chopped cilantro. You have to have cilantro to balance this out. It's just perfect with it. And then serve all of that hot and melty with a big dollop of sour cream and a little extra cilantro for each person, and give each person a little lime wedge so they can squeeze over their serving. My son says to tell you, you cannot forget the lime. So I hope you're hungry now. We have sweet corn flavor throughout, color and texture from the beans and the corn. We have spicy chicken, gooey cheese, big bright flavors of tomatoes and purple onions, creamy avocado, bold cilantro, the creamy sour cream, and a pop of sunshine from the fresh lime. This is a score. If you're making this for a party or whatever function, it's going to be a home run. I personally want it for dinner. This picture shows you that my son got up in the morning and ate it for breakfast, which is a bit extreme for me. But at any rate, thanks for watching. I hope you'll come back for more recipes next time.